And before you open any additional investment accounts, you need to first understand how your 401k works. You could have a 403b, TSP, or something similar with your employer, but they all essentially work the same. So I'll just say 401k throughout this video. Okay. And one of the fastest ways to get to your first $100,000 is by investing in your 401k, especially if it comes with an employer match. And your 401k is directly contributed from your paycheck. And you could elect to contribute to the traditional portion, the Roth portion, or a combination of both. The traditional portion is in pre-tax dollars, or you haven't paid any taxes into the 401k, and the Roth portion is in after-tax dollars, or you have already paid taxes into the 401k. And since Secure Act 2.0 was passed in 2022, your employer could give you the option to put the match into either the traditional portion or the Roth portion. Just keep in mind that if you select the Roth option for your employer match, you're going to have to pay the income tax now, but it will grow tax-free inside your Roth portion, which also avoids the RMD, or required minimum distributions, in the future. Not every 401k plan offers this deal just yet, so be sure to get with your HR to find out if this is available for you. Whatever the choice you make, don't miss out on the employer match. If you need to contribute at least 5% to your 401k to get the 5% employer contribution, you should contribute at least 5% to your 401k. So let me show you how an employer match could make a big difference in your 401k. And you can download this retirement calculator by visiting firesignature.com/resources. And let's assume that your annual income is $70,000 a year with a 15% contribution rate. Without the employer match, it would take you about 7 years right here to hit about $100,000 in your 401k. And this is also assuming that your income increases by 2% every year. Okay. So, but what if I add right here 5% for the contribution rate? Now, it would take you about 5.5 years instead of 7 years to reach $100,000, assuming that the 401k performs an average of 8% average annual return. And remember that your employer match doesn't count towards your personal contribution. You could get to your goal a lot faster if you max out your personal contribution every year. And some employers might even be generous in giving you more employer matches or profit sharing, regardless of how much you contribute to your 401k. So be sure to ask your HR how it works. And you could get from $100,000 to $1 million a lot faster if you consistently invest and increase your contribution to the maximum limit set by the IRS, right? So what do you think is better? Investing $500 a month, making 10% return, or investing $1,000 a month, making a 7% return on investment? You can't figure out how much you can invest without a budget. There's no way around it. I personally tested out the budgeting app called YNAB, and it's not just an app that can track your income and expenses, but it can even help you create a plan to pay down your student loans, car loans, personal loans, or credit cards a lot faster. So if you're ready to change your life by getting out of the paycheck to paycheck cycle, you can get a free trial without any credit card information by using the link in the description below. So let's forget about the 401k, Roth IRA, or any of these retirement accounts for a moment. I want you to focus and understand how compound interest works, because the interest, earnings, and dividends reinvestment will compound over time. So let's say you invest $10,000 into an index fund in 1 year, and the index fund you're contributing makes a 10% return by the end of the first year. You're going to earn $1,000 in interest or unrealized capital gains. Let's take a look at year 2. The account balance will start with $11,000, right? And if the account earns 8%, then you're going to have almost $900 in capital gains from that $11,000 at the beginning of year 2. And that gives you the ending balance of $11,880. But what if we have a tough year in the stock market? Let's say you lose 5% in investments. Then you're going to have a loss of almost $600 and finish the year with $11,286. And what most people forget, or they forget the concept of buy low, sell high. when the market goes through a tough time, right? There are people who become so scared to invest when the market keeps on dipping. It's kind of like catching a falling knife. But if you had invested another $10,000 in the year, right here, okay? Let's say the market goes down. Generally speaking, you essentially bought it with a 5% discount, right? So no matter what happens in the market, if you're nowhere near your retirement, buying all the time will always give your money the opportunity to grow for the long term. If your investment pays you dividends every quarter or every year, you can reinvest that back into the same investment and keep growing. What if your ETF grows 8% this year and pays you another, let's say 1% in dividends? That's a total of 9% return, right?